Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor. We are back here with another Rumour Mill show. What is going on in your life? Leeds United back tonight against Sheffield United. The big one, everybody. Please make sure you're tuning in to the watch along this afternoon. The instant match reaction, 3 things tomorrow. And make sure you're subscribing to the Patreon as well, where we're asking you immediately after the game your thoughts and then reading them out in the next podcast. So today, people, we're going to be speaking about a signing that Leeds United are apparently looking at, which is a bit of an alternative to Mr. Coquelin. We're going to be speaking about a Leeds United veteran who looks to be on his way in the summer months, and I want to get your thoughts before the Sheffield United game this evening. So Leeds United have reported interest in Francis Coquelin. Obviously, Coquelin, very, very sort of known for playing at Arsenal, for playing at Villarreal as well. 33 years of age, a very experienced midfielder, which could really plug the gap for Daniel Farke's side. Coquelin would bring much needed tactical stability to this Leeds United side. He'd fit in as a little bit of a hallmark of that defensive midfield presence, and he would sit alongside an attacking player. And I think that balance would be pretty nice, to be quite honest with you. At 33 years of age, he's nowhere near past it. And for me, he could definitely do a job at championship level. Known for his tackling, ball winning, and of course, his midfield presence and leadership attributes, Coquelin would fit into this Leeds United side. And for me, would be pretty similar to Ethan Ampadu in what he's able to transmit on that field. And of course, we do have that leadership tendency with Coquelin, who for me provided that very early on in his career at Arsenal as well. Now, you do feel at 33 years of age, you're a bit of a wily old cat. Now, me at 31 going on 32, I don't feel like I'm a wily old cat, but definitely on the football pitch, Coquelin could provide some much needed nous to get Leeds United through that championship campaign. And if you're able to get him on a good deal, very similarly to Coquelin, I can only see it as a benefit for Leeds United. His versatility, it's not only defensive midfield he can play, but he can also play central midfield, which is going to be a big, big benefit for Leeds United, especially in games where maybe we might need him to push up a little bit. If he's coming into the championship at 33 years of age without having a club, could he deal with the intensity? Could he deal with the ferocity and the speed of the championship? That's probably a little bit of a question as well. Like Coquelin as well, Leeds United will have to assess his consistency and his fitness. And additionally, his playing time at his most recent club, Villarreal, was limited due to injuries as well. During his time at Villarreal as well, Coquelin was known for helping the young players as well come through. When you look at this Leeds United squad now, the plethora of young players we have, and from a nurturing standpoint, someone like him coming in as a potential 6-month deal with maybe the availability to come in for even longer, you just feel is ticking all the boxes right now. And even with the likes of Ampadu in there, you know, Ampadu is a young lad, Gruev is a young lad. These are sort of the quote-unquote leaders at Leeds United. Someone like Coquelin coming in, he's only going to benefit those guys as well because they're still just kids, really. But for me, there's sort of 3 positives here. You've got defensive solidarity, of which he's been known for his entire career to provide. He's always played at that top level as well, which is a real top and professional mindset for Leeds United going into this transfer. His experience, as we mentioned, of Premier League, of La Liga, and his knowledge will then facilitate Leeds navigating that championship campaign. And of course, his leadership. His leadership for me is going to be the absolute benefit to Leeds United the most, you know, just the gamesmanship as well, being able to see games out and being able to put your foot on the ball, dictate it a little bit, being able to time waste in those games, but Leeds United really haven't done that. So the negatives, I guess, would be the fact that he's had a few injuries in his career and the fact that the championship might be a little bit too quick for him, but being at Villarreal very, very recently and playing at that top level, not as many games as you'd like to see, however, still playing at that top level, I can't see it being a problem for him. So, like I said, everybody, the injuries and the age are going to have to be considered, like it was, of course, with Mr. Coquelin. But overall, I see this as a good deal. A little bit of an update on Patrick Bamford. Now, according to Football Insider, take it with a pinch of salt, according to Football Insider, Patrick Bamford isn't happy with his playing time at this moment in time under Daniel Farke. Now, obviously, this is going to be a little bit of a problem for the 32-year-old because he's not getting enough minutes, and it has been murmured throughout, to be fair, the last sort of 6 months that Bamford may be going. It may be the end of his time at Leeds United. It does feel right now, to be fair, under Daniel Farke, it's going to be difficult for him to get back in. We know Joseph's there. We know Peru's there. We know there was a lot of discussion about Leeds actually going in for Daniel Jebbison in the summer months. So how far up is Pat Bamford on that preferential list when it comes to offensive players. I don't think he's very high. I don't think he's going to see many minutes. And as much as he's on a good contract at Leeds United, he has got to think about his footballing career. And if Bamford can get offers in and around the Championship or maybe League One, I think it's a good move for him. And I think it's a good step in the right direction if Leeds are able to get him out on a transfer in maybe January and maybe invest that somewhere else. I feel like his stock is potentially still relatively high in terms of getting minutes at Leeds United, which I guess is still a big positive for his profile when Joseph and Peru were there. So I guess that's the stock, which we're going to have to talk on because he's not getting goals, he's not getting assists, he's not doing that well when he's on the pitch, but he is getting on the pitch. So that's a big tick box for him. But I think overall it's the right move for him. And there's discussion from this Football Insider article this morning that he will be looking at this in the summer months. But I think if Leeds can do something in January, like I mentioned last January, I was talking about Leeds going for Kiefer Moore. I think it's a real benefit for both clubs. He's on high wages, 35k plus. If a club is willing to come in and give him playing time, slash his wages a little bit, I can only see that as a good thing for both clubs, to be quite honest with you guys. So let me know what you think in the conversation below. Do you think it's realistic that Pat Bamford's going to be moving on? And guys, that brings me to my predicted 11. Now, we did a big podcast on this yesterday on the Patreon. Links in the description below for that, everybody. And also you can check out Football Prizes, and we're sponsored by IPM Group UK, everybody. IPM Group are CCTV and services, surveillance services for you guys in the Leeds area. Rick and the gang are big. They're massive. They're gargantuan. Make sure you get in contact with these guys, everybody, for your CCTV services. Link in the description below. But Football Prize as well. They've got tickets available until the 30th of October, everybody, which are unbelievable. Another ridiculous prize, which I don't really understand how they're able to give it away, but signed shirts, hospitality tickets, all that good stuff. But before we delve too much off, before you leave this video, I want to discuss my team for tonight. So I've gone with Illan Mele in net. Big game for him. I think they're going to target him. They genuinely are going to target him. I think all's going to go out the window for Chris Wilder, and he's just going to say, look, sit in and hit them on corners. We'll start Kiefer Moore. We'll get Vinny Souza in about it. Harry Suter. I think they're going to target Illan Mele, but I'd go with him because what else are the options? What other options do we have? Jayden Bogle, big game for him. Obviously tonight against his former side. I'm rooting for Jayden. Let's hope he has a good one. Rodon and Strauch. I'm hoping Joe doesn't pick up any more stupid yellow cards because this boy has been picking up daft cards. He's been getting too tight to players. He's been getting essentially spun, or he's been 1-2'd and he's had to drag the player back. It's happened 3 times this season and he keeps getting booked for it. He needs to learn. But he's on 4 yellow cards tonight, so that'll be interesting to see how this goes. Junior Firpo left back, central midfield, Tanaka, Rothwell. Now the front 4 for me is really interesting, but I would go with Dan James right wing. I'd be going Willian Yonso centrally, and then I'd be going Ramazani left side and Matteo Joseph up top. Guys, let me know what you think in the conversation below. Join me tonight for the watch long, the instant match reaction, and 3 things tomorrow. Head on over to the Patreon for a bit of a elevated sort of look at things as well. Really appreciate your support as always, guys. Catch you tonight. Cheers.